Hello, good afternoon. I don't usually cover topics like this on my channel, but it's my channel, so I get to do what I want. Anyways, um, today we are going to be talking about the library. When you think of the library, what do you think of? Old books, collecting dust, lost in time, the nerds and the geeks going to the library after school, the old creepy man on the computer that probably shouldn't be watching that in public. These are the common stereotypes of the library, and this is how I used to imagine the library too. And I think that's partially due to the perception of the library through media as well. Well, I feel like the modern library is far from that now. My brother recently went to the library to rent some books, and it was his first time at our local library. When he opened a library card, he learned that you can rent tools at the library, which neither of us had any idea about. This is perfect for us because we're both currently renovating a home, and a lot of times we need a one-off tool for a job once. So it kind of doesn't make sense to just buy the tool when you only use it once, right? This is where renting a tool would come in handy. And we've done that before with like Home Depot, but you got to pay for that and all that. And so we learned that at the library, you can just rent tools for free, and you can open a library card for free. Beautiful. Every penny counts when you're renovating a home. So he asked me to open a library card myself and rent a post hole digger. We have a chain of them in our community, and there was one that was pretty close to my work that had a post hole digger in stock. So I said, yes, sir, let's rent that post hole digger for free. So after work, I went to the library. I opened up a library card. I rented our post hole digger, which worked great and was a lot of help, and we built a beautiful fence. For us, at least beautiful. Don't look too hard. And I started to look at all of the perks that my local library had. And the more research I did, it seemed like a lot of other libraries around the US at least had these same perks. Not really the small libraries, but libraries in maybe bigger metropolitan areas seem to have these kind of similar perks. And I just wanted to quickly cover the perks that my library has to offer because it's actually ridiculous and it's all free. And I feel like, why is nobody talking about this or using these perks? The library, at least mine, is split into a couple different categories, and I'm just gonna go through each category. There's one that I'm really gonna hyperfixate on, and it's going to be the tools, obviously, but we'll get there. We need to start with what the library has to offer, and that would be books and media, as expected. When it comes to books and media, I'm not going to really go through every single one, but I want to highlight in this section movies and music, because it's kind of expected that along with books, you'll find ebooks and audiobooks in today's time, but the movies one is what caught my eye here. In movies and music, you could use Hoopla here to choose from thousands of movies and television shows and music albums. And if we go in here and look at some of the stuff Hoopla offers, is it going to be the cool stuff that is offered on Netflix? Maybe not everything, right? But it's free. It's free. That's what's so crazy to me is it's free. Look, Oppenheimer, right? The Whale. Those are two major ones as of this recording, right? And then there's a lot of stuff that I haven't heard of. But yeah, there's like actual movies that you can watch here and stuff. The nice thing too is they also have a digital services assistant. So if you're not really that tech literate, you can navigate these resources and it'll help you actually get started with accessing the digital stuff, which is important because we tend to assume that everyone is just really good at technology, which is absolutely not the case. People need to be able to, have that help on hand. Now we'll get to the part that I actually really want to talk about, and that is the specialty checkouts. This is crazy. This is actually so crazy. Like, why are people not talking about this? I feel like this is so cool. And there's like just so many things that I would like to have, but I know I don't need to have all the time. I only need it for like a specific circumstance, right? And a lot of that you can find in the specialty checkouts. They have Book Club in a Box, which is like you get a couple copies of books. That's not that crazy. That's not what we're talking about. We don't care about books at the library, right? Obviously, we're gonna go to games because why would you get a book at the library? But this is what's cool is it's not just like video games, it's board games too. And I feel like sometimes I will host a little get together with my friends, and my friends and I, we really enjoy playing board games. And I don't want to just own a bunch of board games because I don't use them unless I'm with company, and I host company rarely. So we can use their catalog to actually find a game that they have. So they got board games I have never heard about, like Outfoxed, Trekking the National Parks, Quirkle. Okay, Monopoly. Yeah, we know about that one. They got Sacramento Edition Monopoly, Hoot Owl Hoot, Ticket to Photosynthesis, Sushi Go, Settlers of Catan. That's a great one. Yeah, it's just cool. It's cool because like there's a bunch of these board games, and it seems like some people are using these because some of them are being checked out. So that's good. That they're not just like sitting collecting dust. They also, you've probably noticed, have video games. And they have a couple titles here. Like they have Super Mario Strikers, Wreckfest AI. This is just for the Switch. They have some PS4 titles here, just a couple, and a couple Xbox ones. Sure, you're not going to maybe find the best of the best PS4, Xbox, and Switch games at the library, but it's the thought that counts, and they have options. And I think for somebody that just wants to try something new, they can rent and play it. And, maybe someone really is out there really trying to play Reforced for the Xbox. So if you're trying to play Reforced for the Xbox, go rent it at the library. Why would you pay for it? They also have museum passes, which, like, oh my God, like, I don't, it's just so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me because, like, why have I been paying money for all this when, like, I can just experience all these things for free with my library card, right? And museums is one of those things. Like, you get free and, I assume, or low-cost passes for just museums and like cool events and places to go in Sacramento and in the Bay Area, which is very nearby Sacramento in case you don't know. Let's take a look at some of these passes. Okay, you gotta log in. Gotta cut this part out. You guys are not stealing my library card, that's for sure. Okay, so here's some available attractions, right? The Carnegie Art Center, the Cartoon Art Museum, Chabot Space and Science Center, the Contemporary Jewish Museum, the Richmond Museum of History, free admission for 2 people. Oh my God, the San Jose Museum of Art, UC Berkeley, Botanical Garden. And this stuff costs money. And like, honestly, like if you're a low income adult with a child and you want to enrich your child in culture and arts and educate them, it kind of sucks sometimes because you don't have the ability, or not you don't have the ability, it's life's expensive. I feel like you gotta spend at least like $8 to have fun nowadays. like it's just really nice that there's these options for free. I love museums, so I'm definitely going to check out some of these museums for free. Seed libraries. I just built a garden box with my brother in our backyard, and obviously we want to plant some seeds, right? So, oh my God, gee, I almost fell. when I returned the post hole digger, I also picked up some seeds from the seed library. So in this case, I grabbed 2 right here, and I got lettuce and strawberries. Those are the only 2 I grabbed just because I got them right before they're about to restock seeds. So I need to come back because I think actually today they have restocked these seeds. But as you can tell in this image, they normally have like a bunch of seeds, right? And there's a lot of different libraries that offer these seeds too. And I mean, that's literally free food. That's also free. Like we're at free movies, free museum passes, free TV shows, free games, free food. Free food now. Yeah, you gotta grow it, of course. Then you're not just gonna get like free Big Macs. like you gotta grow the seeds. But that's really, really cool. And I think also this is a great way for just like someone to get into gardening. I know I'm not really a gardener, but I want to start to garden. So it's just nice because now I get these free seeds. I can kind of just throw them in and try with these ones. And I know seeds are relatively inexpensive, but all of these costs add up. And the fact that all of it's just available for free at the library, I love it. If you can't tell, I'm really excited about this. Here's the one I wanted to talk about, the library of things. If games, movies, TV shows, seeds weren't enough for you, we also have the library of things. So I'm just going to sort it by category. So we have arts and crafts, electronics and technology, more games and hobby stuff. And that's not including like, the video games and board games we saw earlier. Health related stuff, kitchen stuff, musical equipment, recreation, scientific stuff, tools, more video game stuff here, and then yard games. So arts and crafts, right? We got a couple just small things like a button maker. I don't even know what a Cricut maker is. What is that? Dude, how much does a Cricut maker cost? Hold on a sec. Oh my, it's $400 for this thing? Create 3, I don't even know what this is. Oh my God. I'm going to have to research whatever this is afterwards, but dude, $400. Okay, so imagine you are a kid and you want to make something and this thing would help you so much to make it. You don't have $400. I did not have $400 when I was 12 years old. And what, you're going to buy it and then maybe use it a couple times? That's a hard thing to justify for a lot of people, $400. So you can just rent it at the library. You can rent a laminator, a sewing machine, electronics and technology. Let's see. This one I'm going to start using because I'm currently recording this with like an eBay webcam because I actually don't own a camera. But here they got GoPros, which I could rent. I used to own one, but if you watched, I had a video a while ago where I solo backpacked on a motorcycle and my GoPro flew off. So I need a GoPro. Do I buy one and then use it maybe once every couple months? Or do I rent it for free at the library? There's DSLR cameras, there's projectors, there's a turntable for vinyl, Lego Mindstorms. What's in health? A blood pressure monitor. That's pretty cool. You see some kitchen equipment. Okay, this one is major. KitchenAid stand mixer. Here, I gotta look this one up too, because this one's expensive. $330, $450, right? This is a $300, $400, $600 item. Same as the Cricut maker before. What if you're just like 7 and you're trying to bake cookies and like a lot of cookies? And I mean, okay, wait, that's a bad example because you could just hand mix them at that point. The KitchenAid, it's just nice. You can rent it. Do I need a KitchenAid stand mixer all the time? No, I don't really like cook that often to warrant owning one of those. So why not just share it with my community? Tools. This is crazy. They don't have like that many tools, but they had that post hole digger, like I said. They have a metal detector, a lawnmower, a belt sander. The librarian I spoke to said that they're still working on adding more tools as they go. So as far as I understand, this is, at least in the Sacramento area, relatively new. I know there's also tool-specific libraries, but those you have to pay for to enter, which if you're renting like a lot of different specialty tools, that's probably worth it. But, for small stuff like that, the average person doesn't really like use tools. The average person that's just like renting a home or like a little apartment probably doesn't need tools that often. So it's just cool to like rent a power drill because they want to build like a little cat box or something like that, right? A little home for their little kitty, their cute little kitty. Along with the video games I showed you earlier, there's actually consoles that you can rent from the library too. Like you can just straight up rent a PS4 or an Xbox One or a Nintendo Switch, even a Super NES Classic Edition. Not like an old actual Super NES, but like, what? At the library? The boring library, you can rent a PS4? The librarian was telling me there's a lot of kids that don't have consoles or their parents just don't have the means to buy them. Maybe they do, but, they just prefer not to or anything. And it's just cool. Like the kid, it's a way of socializing for a child nowadays, playing a video game online with their friends. So it's just cool that a child can like use these and play online with their friends and not feel left out due to being in like a different socioeconomic class. Also, it's just free video game consoles to rent. Let's not even get like deep with it and talk about socioeconomic classes. Like it's just straight up like you could rent a console for free. I don't care. Could I buy a PS4 right now? Sure. Or I could just rent one for free. And then finally, just for the library things, they got some yard game stuff too. Beanbag toss, croquet, ladder toss. This would also come in handy like when you're kind of hosting a little event, right? If I have some friends over, I could rent some board games. I could rent like beanbag toss here. I'm not just gonna own a beanbag. I'm not solo tossing beanbags all the time, so I don't need to own one of these. So like it's just good to have to borrow. So then, I could do something with my friends. All right, that was a lot for that section, but yeah, that's books and media. Just loud Honda driving by. That's just like physical stuff that you can borrow, but there's even more at the library. That's not it. Well, actually, I bet you there's more physical stuff. Maybe. We'll see. Next thing I want to talk about was education. Education. That's just another really, really cool resource that the library offers, right? Is educational opportunities. So first and foremost, for students here, they can get homework help, which is major because tutors cost money and you can just work with tutors like for free. That's really cool. Like if I had a kid, tutors cost a lot of money. I think I would just have them using the free library tutors. That's like super, super cool. And here they have like K through 5 and also middle school and high school tutors. There's also education for adults, right? Career development, getting your GED, right? If you didn't finish high school. So you can finish your GED and get that for free in case you dropped out of high school. The last thing I wanted to cover in education was the Sacramento Room. I would have been so happy to have something like this when I was younger and I had to write about the history of my community because this is it, right? These are opportunities where you can actually just learn about Sacramento and its history. And Sacramento has a lot of history. There's also maker spaces. Here they have a list of stuff, right? They have a 3D printer. I'm pretty sure that's what a MakerBot is. They have some like musical equipment like microphones, drums, pianos, software to use. Cool stuff, man. Cool stuff. Yeah, look at this recording, right? Maybe you're a young artist, you're trying to make it. You want to not sound whack. So like, you can actually go here and use like professional studio equipment for your music. All right, yeah. And then so along with all that, they also have online learning because this is all like in person. Well, not all of it. Some of the GED stuff was online, but they have like online learning here, like automotive online learning. This is the one I was really looking at for under education was the auto repair and maintenance library, right? So they have a database here of like your car. So I have a 2004 Hyundai Sonata. So let's look it up. Let's make sure this is good. repair procedures for the DRL control module. Oh, like I've always wanted like this as an actual resource to use, right? Because I'm always like just looking up YouTube videos or buying like the Haynes manual, and I know I'm blanking on what it's called, but it's what mechanics use for like their like they basically also have like this online resource. I remember when I took auto shop in high school, we had this online resource, but it's expensive. I think it was like $10,000 a year or something like that. What if you're a mechanic trying to start being self-employed? That's a lot of money. I'm sure it's not 10,000 a month. I hope not. God, I hope not. It's just cool because this is free. You could use this if you have your mechanics business. You could use this if you're just a DIY mechanic like I am, right? All this information here, and it's just all free. It's all free. And you know, I know I don't keep shutting up about that, but that's just what's crazy to me is that all of this is just available to anybody if you just have a library card. Cool. That's all with education. We talked about things that we can rent besides books. We talked about educational experiences. Now let's go to community. Basically, community's just got a lot of community resources, right? Whether you're a teenager, whether you're a new immigrant, whether you just are a veteran, there's just a lot of like resources that the library helps you with. Accessibility stuff, right? There's like Braille, sensory services. I don't even know what that is. That's crazy. What's sensory services? Virtual sensory story time. Huh? Anyways, moving on to events. You can leave the library to go to the museums and parks that's offered. You can grab things from the library, movies, games, and just everything. Apparently, kitchen stuff, tools, consoles, but there's also just events going on as well at the library. The prom drive. So this is pretty cool, right? Where basically you can just donate your like gently used prom stuff. I still have my tuxedo from high school, so I'm planning to donate that because I do not use that, and everyone deserves to go to prom. It would just really, really suck if you're in a position where you can't afford to go to prom, like you want to, but you literally can't afford. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. So there's an opportunity to go to prom with like donated prom clothes, and it's not going to be whack, hopefully. Hopefully it's not going to be whack stuff. That's kind of the one event I want to talk about, but they have, looks like a bunch of other stuff. They also just have a program calendar where you can just view all the events going on in the library. Now, when I talk about library events, am I talking about like sick parties every night? No, obviously not, right? In the end of the day, it is the library. But it's cool. Like you can see here in January from Monday to Saturday, they got a bunch of crazy stuff going on, right? Like Steam for Kids, family story times, a teen space, manga cafe, an adult space for knitting. There's also a really good place to just like meet people if you're older and make new friends. There's a lot of talk lately about third places. The first is your home, the second is your work, the third is somewhere you go to like unwind and exist with your friends. And a lot of these places can be those third places that people are looking for. Adult book group for mysteries, adult space for book discussion groups, right? Teen spaces for manga and art, youth comic clubs, right? The knitting for the adults, like I said earlier. Maybe I'll go to knitting. I'm really bad at knitting, so maybe I'll try knitting when I'm not too busy renting tools and movies from the library instead of books. Okay, and then last but not least is finally just giving support to the library. I mean, support us, right? What else do you think that means? It's supporting the library. So they are giving so many resources to you. If you're really utilizing them, it's good to give back. So I feel like after the use I get from this library, I need to give back. For example, my brother and I own a tile cutter. We're planning to remodel another bathroom, so we still need it. But once I remodel that bathroom, do I need a tile cutter? No, I don't. It's like a big piece of equipment. So I really just have no use for a tile cutter. And there are people out there that could borrow a tile cutter and would be more than happy to. I mean, I borrowed a post hole digger and I was super happy with that. And you can always donate like with money as well. You can volunteer. That's another way to donate. You're pretty much donating with things, time, or money. It's not really fair to only leech all this stuff for free. Yes, it's free and that's great, but you got to make sure it's free for everyone continuously. So that's why it's really important to donate. I just have a couple notes to finish this video off with. A lot of it has just been me really rambling about all the different random services my library offers, but it's important that these services remain. And it's cool, there are tool libraries in the city, but you still have to pay for those. I feel like we live in a maximalist society where we just need to purchase more and more. If I want to do this, I need to buy this to accomplish that. It's hard to find options where I can just freely acquire an item temporarily by renting it in order to accomplish that one thing, to further progress my life. Why should I buy something that's going to just sit in my garage and collect dust after I use it once? I could just be part of a network where I take and give and share all of these things that each and every one of us uses once. So that item, it's like purpose doesn't go to waste. The resources have been used to make that thing, and now it's not just sitting collecting dust and then going to end up in a landfill. Person A is using it, person B is using it, person C, D, E, F, everyone is just using it. Obviously, if I use something often, that's when I would buy something and it makes sense to actually own it, because I would just be taken away from those people where I'm constantly every 2 weeks borrowing that same item, and other people don't have that opportunity. And also, you know, it's it's out of the way. I got to always go to the library, borrow it, go back. But once a year, maybe, no need to own it. Sure, it might take a second to get a tool from a library, but like, do you need it right now? I feel like our attention spans are going down. I think it's actually been proven that like over the years, people's attention spans have been going down. And we want this like more instant gratification, man, but just chill out, man. You'll get it in a couple days. You don't need this thing done right now. Obviously, there are circumstances you need it right this second. It happens. I understand. The world will not stop spinning. You can wait. You can wait. I believe in you. And along with this maximalist mentality of things, the library seems to be the last place in modern society where you can exist indoors, in public, without the expectation of pain. I know that if I go into a store, a mall, a restaurant, I technically don't have to pay for anything, but there definitely seems to be a pressure. And at the library, no way. I could be there all day long and nobody's going to kick me out if I'm not disturbing anyone. The only reason they're going to kick me out is if I'm a dumbass or they're about to close. That's pretty much it. Go get a library card. Go get one before it's too late. maybe I'm just lucky and mine has a lot of these, but like I said, I was researching and there's other libraries in the US that seem to have these same kind of opportunities that mine has. It's really cool that there's all these like services for free and you can exist without the expectation of pain. And as time progresses, you know, there's definitely seems to be this feeling that I'm always expected to pay more. I can't just like hang out somewhere. There's now like parks in New York where you just walk straight through. There's coffee shops that are only for the employees of the place that they own, but the library is still there. So just go hang out and support them. Hopefully they don't disappear one day too. Damn, I love the library now. Thanks for watching. Take care.